The Indy Racing League's multi-year arrangement with domestic ethanol producers has digressed in recent weeks to a series of accusations and finger-pointing. Anger and resentment among American agricultural circles was stoked when the Indy Racing League, or IRL, reached a corporate underwriting agreement with Brazilian ethanol producers. The move comes after 3 years of full-throated support for domestic corn-based ethanol. A 100% blend of homegrown ethanol fueled the 2007 to 2008 racing seasons at tracks such as the Iowa Speedway in Newton, Iowa.
I learned about the IRL deal with the Brazilians through a Google alert that we had set up on ethanol. It was 7 o'clock on a Tuesday morning, and I read the release a couple of times before I really began to comprehend just how significant and what kind of an impact this was going to have on our ethanol industry.
Craig Floss, president of the Iowa Corn Growers Association, was surprised to discover IRL was severing its relationship with domestic ethanol and embracing foreign sources of the alternative fuel.
I told the IRL officials very directly, you are the pipeline for a foreign-made fuel. Is that really the position that you want to take? You're based in the Midwest, you have a strong Midwest fan base, and you are the pipeline for that foreign-made fuel. If that's the position you want to take and you can stand the PR ramifications of that, then I guess that's your choice.
But the sentiments of Midwestern farm groups were not echoed by IRL President Terry Angstad. Angstad says the former chief ethanol sponsor of the IRL pulled its underwriting support earlier this year. The Ethanol Promotion and Information Council, or EPIC, had sponsored multiple facets of the Indy Racing League. A promotional arm of the U.S. ethanol industry, EPIC has recently merged with a similar promotional group known as Growth Energy.
They not only sponsored one of our teams, but they supplied our fuel, as well as did some in-market activation. So mid-year, during the 2008 racing season, we were told that they were not going to be able to support the IndyCar Series as they have done in the past. And we actually thank them for giving us that much lead time in terms of being able to develop a strategy around replacing, fuel supply opportunities.
Angstad's comments that it was EPIC and not IRL that terminated the arrangement were reaffirmed by an EPIC spokesperson. EPIC Executive Director Tony Nurnberg told Market to Market, "The EPIC Board of Directors made a strategic decision to apply the same efforts to the success realized with our work in motorsports to new priorities impacting the industry. In difficult financial times, all industry sectors have setbacks, but the ethanol industry continues to have a bright future as part of America's sustainable, renewable energy portfolio, and very importantly, is currently the only reliable alternative to gasoline." EPIC and Growth Energy also informed Market to Market the organization would not seek future corporate sponsorship of the IRL.
As a title sponsor of their second most viewed race, it would have been nice to have had a phone call to say, EPIC, the Ethanol Promotion Information Council, is going to reduce their contract with us. Are there other ethanol players in the U.S. who we might be able to put together to be a sponsor of the Indy Racing League? That call never occurred.
The dust-up over foreign ethanol in a domestic racing league has caused a public relations firestorm for IRL President Terry Angstad.
Our back-turning has ranged from the American farmer now to also every veteran of every conflict we've ever had, because of course we run the Indy 500 on Memorial Day weekend. So it is, I think, frankly ridiculous, the position that's being taken. At the same time, we do understand the challenges of the domestic ethanol industry. And again, we have continued to stay consistent with, we absolutely wish them the best. We are believers in ethanol. We were very aligned for a number of years. We are going to remain aligned with the ethanol industry. And the fact that the source changes, we frankly don't think is a real big deal.
The symbolic corporate support of Brazilian ethanol comes at a critical time for U.S. producers. Recent headlines concerning bankruptcy for Midwest ethanol producer Verisun and looming consolidation rumors have sent shockwaves through the burgeoning industry. But at least 2 high-profile IRL events will use domestic ethanol as a fuel source next season. Angstad claims the top-rated Indy 500 and the Iowa Corn 250 both will use American ethanol.
It is interesting to see the reaction to the IndyCar Series continuing to run a renewable and green fuel that leaves no carbon footprint, especially when contrasted to every other form of motorsports, which primarily uses a petroleum-based fuel. So it is a little frustrating, and at the same time, we feel very confident in the decision we've made and the direction we're going.
But for some farm groups, that endorsement does not go far enough. The president of the Iowa Corn Growers Association says the group has received multiple complaints from farmers and is directing their concerns towards the Indy Racing League.
I think that the IRL has underestimated how passionate people are about a domestic fuel source. This isn't just about ethanol. This is about energy independence. And it's about a Midwestern economy that, quite frankly, needs the renewable fuel industry. And whether it's in Iowa or whether it's in Indy's backyard right around Indianapolis, ethanol is having an impact and will continue to have an impact if we are allowed to thrive.